Hello friends. This is not the video that I intend to put up. I'm going to talk about this book. I haven't finished reading it yet, but I was ranting about it to myself earlier, kind of like planning out a YouTube review of it. And one of the comments I had was that there are too many characters, and then I just was reading it outside because it's a nice day out. And more new characters were introduced. I'm almost on page 300. I'm on page 294. The book I'm reading is The Clockmaker's Daughter by Kate Morton. I have another book by her called The Forgotten Garden, you know, obviously Secret Garden vibes. I needed to check it out. But I started with this one because this one sounded more intriguing to me. The good thing is I looked at some Goodreads reviews. It sounds like even big fans of hers are not a huge fan of this book because they felt like it was too busy, which is like my main complaint about it. So like, hopefully that book will be more enjoyable. But I will be taking a break from contemporary novels for a hot second after I finish this book. Because there's so much going on, I feel like if I actually put it down for an extended period of time, I will just straight up forget everything. So, haha. My biggest gripe with this book, and I've talked about this before with Kiss Carlo, is that the synopsis on the back is deceiving. The synopsis on the back makes this book sound like it's a murder mystery. I was like, yeah, it's a murder mystery. You're gonna find out how this girl got murdered. We like have barely talked about, actually we haven't even talked about like her character dying. Is her character even dead? I'm on page 300 and I don't know what's going on. It's chaos. I am on page, like I said, I'm almost on page 300 of this book. I feel like nothing has happened. So I'm like, oh, you got this Elodie girl. She finds a portrait of this person who is presumably the clockmaker's daughter, who is the mysterious first person narrator. I'm like, oh, Elodie's gonna be like this amateur detective. She's gonna go to Birchwood. She like found this painting amid like some other person's things. I don't even remember his name. We haven't heard anything from him. I have no idea what he has to do with the plot of the story. I haven't heard about him since page like 30. So we're gonna have like his perspective. We're gonna have her perspective. We're gonna have this like questionably a ghost character's perspective. And it's like, yeah, no, I don't know what's going on. There's mysterious and then there's vague. Mysterious is, oh, I wonder what's the cause of that. Like, let me keep reading to find out. But it's like, I'm not getting answers. I don't want to read because I don't care about the characters. There are too many of them. And the way that things are introduced, it's presented in a very vague manner that it's like, I don't care. Like, I don't know what this has to do with the story, so I just throw it out. Of like the guy in modern day who's like on the phone with his ex-wife being like, I just want to take the kids to Harry Potter World. Is it even really a spoiler? Like, what is a spoiler? Nothing's happened. I'm 300 pages into the book. I'm more than halfway through the book. Nothing has happened. It's just like not engaging. It's not suspenseful. It doesn't make me care about the characters, and there are too many moving parts. It's that the mystery doesn't work because I just don't understand what all these characters have to do with each other. It's chaos hours, friends, and I just needed to yell about this book because it is infuriating because I want to enjoy it. I want so much to enjoy it.
It is 11:15 at night, and I am organically capturing that despondency that always comes with finishing a book. But, so confusing, not engaging until page 300. I read the last 180 pages today. I was on page 306 when I started work this morning, and I just finished the book. It's 482 pages long. That could have been the book, but no, we got 300 pages of nonsense. And for what? An open ending. We don't even get a full conclusion. Like, it's just so confusing. I'm a firm believer in the idea that you do not need to explain things that aren't relevant. And there's so much stuff that, like, isn't relevant. And then there's so much stuff that's just, like, not explained. And it just feels so poorly written.
Editing Jillian interjecting with not really a spoiler, but basically an example of what I mean here is that very early in the novel, the character of Elodie mentions that her great uncle Tip told her this story, and he says he heard it from a friend when they were living at Birchwood. So we presume that it's the ghost woman, mysterious, weird character, first person narrator. But she goes on this whole digression about how their house was bombed during the Blitz, and, you know, Juliet's husband died at war, and they're living at Birchwood now, all to lead up for what? You didn't need any of that. We already gathered that Tip had heard the story from
Albertina. That's what I mean when I say that, like, you don't need to explain everything. We don't need the backstory. We already figured out how Tip learned the story. We don't need more information on that. And, like, the exposition is pretty. I'm not saying that, like, Kate Morton is a bad writer, but based off of this book, I would say she's a bad storyboarder. I have another book by her. We'll read The Forgotten Garden or The Hidden Garden, whatever it's called. It's some Secret Garden knockoff title. I don't know what it's about. We'll read that and we'll see if the storyboarding on that is any better. But this one is not I don't recommend this book. Or just skip to page 300. Like, you won't be confused, I promise. Because then it's like, oh, it's supposed to be like all the characters are interconnected, but she spends so much time fleshing them out that you forget who the characters are by the time they're reintroduced into the story. Get a conclusion. Like, there's no conclusion. It's just so frustrating. It's like, we spent all this time with these characters, and for what? But it's fine. We're fine. This also has the vibe of, like, not that I've ever read Les Mis, but I know that Victor Hugo spends, like, 100 pages describing the sewer system of Paris because everyone talks about it in the Les Mis fandom. And, like, that's the vibe that this gives off. But, like, when I open a Victor Hugo novel, that's what I'm expecting. So maybe I'll enjoy her garden book a little bit more because I'm expecting something like that. I digress. 3 out of 5. 2 out of 5. 2 out of... 3 out of 5 because I was engaged enough to read the last, like, 175 pages in one day. But, like, or I read the last, like, 100 pages in one sitting over the course of the last, like, few hours. But, yeah, in general, it's very slow. It's very confusing. It has an unsatisfying ending. So I would not recommend. I'm still in that, like, post-finish, like, okay, I finished the book. What next vibe. So, maybe I'll form a cohesive thought process tomorrow or something. I need to go to bed. So, I decided that I need a break from mystery novels, which is, like, wild. Because I once went a month where I only read Agatha Christie novels, but I ended up trying to commit suicide at the end of that month, so maybe that's not a good example. This one goes out to my number one fan, Juliet. I'm rereading Catcher in the Rye. It's been a half hour. I'm still ruminating, and I'm exhausted, but I'm also hungry, so I'm gonna go make myself some salmon ramen at 11:30 at night. I look like a little German boy with a bowl cut when my hair's up, but bear with me. I'm not satisfied with the ending. I'm just sad, but I'm not even, like, particularly sad because it was a sad ending. I mean, like, there was, like, a sad thing that happened, but, like, I couldn't even feel sad because I was just so exhausted, but, like, mentally exhausted from reading the book, not, like, physically exhausted because it's late and I opened at work this morning. But, like, I'm just, like, sad that that's all we got. Also, as if this vlog was not chaotic enough, here's my ramen. Okay, it's 8:15 in the morning. I literally just woke up, but I realized what I meant when I said I was sad about the ending. It's because, spoiler, all this time you think that this girl's death is, like, mysterious, but it was literally an accident that was caused by plot convenient amnesia, and I'm annoyed. Like, I feel sad for her, but not, like, in an invested kind of way. I'm just kind of like, seriously, I actually feel sad. I don't know. I'm half awake. I shouldn't be filming this. So goodbye for now.